The next topic is CV optimization. So, Ben, when reviewing CVs, what specific qualities, skills, or elements immediately stand out to you?
Um, so I'm very much a visual person, so I want the CV first of all to be well presented. I don't need to be, heavy on graphic design. Has to be clear and with the most important information easily readable. If we go into a second level of detail, what I really like is when candidates share what value they brought to a specific role when they were at that company. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be talking about an improved process or, protecting the company with better security against risk, or, even if it's just improved vibes, like just how did they influence culture? It gives the potential hiring manager different jumping off points to talk more about specifics, nuances that might be important to that hiring manager. So rather than just stating the role, the duration, and sort of a brief idea of what the role is, I think most hiring managers would know the responsibilities of a head of portfolio or whatever it might be. It's more about what are your key successes? What are your things you want to talk about that you did there that you're proud of? So I think that's really important. I really want to see that in people's CVs, and it's not common, unfortunately. Well, certainly in my experience, it's not common enough. I do like varied roles early in candidates' careers. It depends where they are within their career, but if you can see sort of regular change um, early on in their career and then sort of a consolidated path towards the end, it depends on the level of seniority. I really like that. It gives me a good idea that they've found what they want to do, and the person I'm bringing in is maybe not passionate because that's a strong word, but really, really excited or interested in what in the role or the area they're applying into. You can see it in their career. Um, and lastly, I always read people's interests, and I do want them to be real interests. I enjoy quirky people. Again, it gives the hiring manager an opportunity to give the candidate um, something to talk about that is not work related, but they're passionate about. You start to see the true qualities of the personality of a person when they're not trying to sell themselves on what they've achieved in their workplace, but they're talking about, a Pokemon collection they're really proud of, or unique destinations that they've stayed at. And you really get to start to see the personality. And then as a hiring manager, you'll have more of an idea of how would they fit into that team. Are we going to be able to provide the right environment for that person to move into? Were we to hire them? So yeah, I like interests. I like quirky people. So I do certainly encourage people to be, honest in that section.
The next topic is no industry experience. As a hiring manager, would you consider interviewing a candidate with no industry experience?
Absolutely. I want to learn from other industries to make our space better. It is a balance. You've got to be careful about who you have within your team already. Make sure that they are there, they're in a position to educate and train the people coming in, with, whatever nuances and specifics there might be within our space. You need a balanced workforce, and that experience coming in from complementary industries is really important. So yeah, very much so. What I've found and having read some books as well, you seem to need around 25% of your workforce to be experts within the domain, for the other 75% to be positively influenced and change their own knowledge and their own way of thinking. So when you are bringing people in, you've got to be really careful about your weighting. So if you're building a brand new product team and you want to make casino games, you wouldn't start by bringing in the best developers from hyper casual mobile games. Even if they can create an incredibly beautiful product, the original knowledge has to be good gambling games. And that's certainly something I've learned more about.
So, Ben, what are your thoughts on staying with one company for a long time versus moving for better opportunities?
Um, it really depends on it's circumstantial. So I always say go where you're appreciated. I think we spend a lot of our hours working. You've got to find a company that you enjoy working with. So go where you're appreciated, and when you've hit a ceiling, when you can't progress any further and you're ambitious, as long as you're moving, you've got a really good rationale as to when and why you move. I've got no issue. It certainly there is a stigma against people who don't spend very long in any one company. So I need, and I have that um, at the back of my mind as well. I love to see it when people have gone in at a certain level, progressed up within the same company or across within the same company. I really enjoy seeing that rather than just the same role with three different companies. There, I presume it's more about, a couple of extra thousand on salary in a year. And maybe they haven't had that opportunity to see fruits of their labor being delivered. So I do understand why there's a stigma about too frequent, high frequency of job hopping. So it's, yeah, but you've got to go where you're appreciated. You've got to enjoy what you do. So I think as long as you're focused on that, when you find your place, you'll be there for a good long time.